Hey, this will be a video chart on CDIV, Cascadia Investments Incorporated. Before I get started, I do want to note that I do own shares in this. So with that being said, let's get started. Today was a huge day, and besides that, makes a great chart example of how you can play charts and use them to your advantage to kind of see when things are possibly coming. But overall, just a great day. I don't think there's anybody complaining. Maybe if you're short, you're complaining, but besides them, the bulls rejoice today. So before I get started, I just want to note real quick what we had going on. For everybody, I'm sure remembers this huge move here that started in February and essentially just didn't stop until right here in early March. This is what you could consider a flagpole. Sure, that's a little unconventional, but for argument's sake, what we essentially had was just a huge move up here, and then we went through about a month's worth of consolidation. And when I draw the line for this, here we had our resistance line, and this was essentially our support line. So what you can see here is we had a bull pennant. Once again, this being the flag, and then using your imagination, you can see here was the pennant portion of the pattern. And this showed pretty much this portion of the pattern that there was simply some profit taking going on. During this sideways part, you can look down here and see volume had dropped off, which is always what you want to see. And then today, obviously, things came back to life and got the huge volume, which is exactly what dynamic you want to see when you're trading, stocks or anything for that matter. When you're getting breakouts, the higher the volume, the higher the confidence. So in a nutshell, we can have pretty darn good confidence in this breakout because check out that volume, way above average. And the other thing to note is, yes, volume wasn't quite as high as it was down here, but we have to look at the prices. Now stock costs, 45 cents to up above 55 cents. At this time, you could get stock for right below 20 cents. So when we're starting to see moves like this, we need to start to factor in dollar volume, not necessarily share volume. We need to see how much dollar volume of stock actually traded, because you could trade 1 million shares at $1 and 5 million shares at 10 cents, but really the more bullish day would be on the 1 million share day at $1. So that's just something to keep in mind. A lot of people sometimes forget that. They think, oh well, it was nice volume, but it wasn't quite as big as these days. Well, I didn't run the numbers, but I'd be willing to bet that the numbers, we may have actually traded more dollar volume than what we did on any of these days. Don't quote me on that, but just looking, that may be the case. So as far as today's chart, we did get the breakout, and now it's just a matter of seeing where it wants to stop. We're going to have to pull up the weekly chart here to see if we can find any other areas of resistance. I don't think we'll be able to. We had all these share splits and stuff like that. So I'm not even really going to, factor in these. I guess you could technically say maybe one of these areas over here is resistance, but for argument's sake, we are in a blue sky breakout. The only areas of resistance are going to simply be when people decide to take profits. Obviously we had a section here where people decided to take profits. Volume dropped down, but as this uptrend line here shows, people were sitting there waiting to accumulate shares, and now with this move up, that's what's happened. And in fact, that's how I played it. I was over the past few weeks just kind of sitting down here, had orders sitting out there that were getting filled, and then today on the breakout, I took a little bit of profits, but I'm still holding quite a big position. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully it'll get up above 60 tomorrow, see if this momentum carries on. But either way, the important part now is forming a higher base. Ideally, you'd like to see the higher base form up above this previous high here, which, let me change that to green to help kind of separate things. But this previous high was at 48 cents. So with any sort of pullbacks, hopefully 48 cents will hold strong before making another move up. If 48 cents does fall and can't quite hold, then just keep your eye on the 20-day simple moving average, which is this red line you can see right here. Did a great job of providing support. But at the end of the day, the path of least resistance is up. We have all sorts of support levels below us, and we don't have any resistance levels above us. So that's pretty telling right there. So it should be a fun rest of the week. If there is some sideways action, let's just keep our eyes on the volume, and as long as the volume drops off, that's perfectly fine. Once again, just to repeat myself once more, during this sideways section, you can see how much volume dropped off. But from a volume analysis standpoint, that's exactly what you want to see happen. So overall, a great day. Congratulations to everybody, and hopefully this will keep on chugging forward the rest of this week. If there are any other questions on the chart, please let me know. If not, I'd encourage you to check out bullwarriorstocks.com. If you go there and sign up for the free newsletter, you'll be sent a free ebook, which has been getting good reviews. And then with your newsletter subscription, you get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, all sorts of things from penny stocks up to big boards. So there's a good variety, something for everybody. And best part is it's all free. We've been making some good money together, so it's worth at least signing up and giving it a try. One more time, this was CDIV. Thanks for listening.